Today we're going to talk about light baking. More specifically, I'll show you how to fix some of the issues I've encountered in my own projects and how to eliminate artifacts that appear after baking. Light baking is still a very relevant and effective way to optimize your scene or game. Let's start with the most important thing after baking. You might find that the baked lighting isn't showing up. Check your project settings. This may be because Lumen is enabled. Lumen is a different lighting technology, and it isn't compatible with light baking, since baking uses the Lightmass system. Turn off Lumen, and as you can see, after baking, the lighting works as expected. Now, let's imagine you have a modular floor. After baking, you might notice visible seams at the joints. There are several ways to fix this. First, make sure your static mesh has a proper UV unwrap in channel 1. UVs can be created automatically in Unreal Engine or manually in any 3D software. If your UVs are set up correctly, adjust the Lightmap resolution. It's likely set too low. Increase it gradually. Setting it too high can quickly fill up your texture pool, increase your game's disk size, and put extra load on your video memory. To control the resolution, switch to Density View mode. Select your static mesh and change its Lightmap resolution value. For the seams between modules to disappear, these modules must have the same Lightmap resolution. Blue indicates that the resolution is too low. Shadows will appear blurry. Green represents the ideal balance. Red means the resolution is excessive. This puts unnecessary strain on video memory, increases bake times, and makes your game larger in size. However, simply matching the Lightmap resolution at the seams is often not enough, due to how the compression and filtering algorithms work. That's where the next method comes in. We need to take a look at the general Lightmass settings. These parameters don't affect performance, they only influence how long it takes to bake your scene. Static lighting level scale controls the detail level of shadows. The lower the value, the higher the quality. Indirect lighting bounces determines how many times light will bounce off surfaces. The higher this value, the better the quality. Shadows are calculated more accurately. The similar parameter for sky lighting works in the same way. Lighting quality sets the overall quality of indirect lighting. Increasing it boosts the number of rays cast, which helps remove artifacts and blotches in your scene. Lighting smoothness softens shadows. If you feel your shadows look too sharp, you can increase this parameter slightly. Some people, on the other hand, lower it to make shadows crisper. But if you decide to use ISM on the same modular blocks for the floor, you may run into issues with overloading the light baking system. When you use ISM, the engine tries to pack the light maps of all instances into a single texture for that component. In Lightmap Density View, each piece may appear to have a normal density, but in total, this single component can become too heavy for video memory and may cause an error. There are a few solutions for this. You can lower the Lightmap resolution on your static mesh. Altogether, this will result in a more reasonable atlas size. Another important tip: don't combine the entire floor of a level into a single component. Split the floor into several ISM components, each of which will have its own separate Lightmap atlas. Alternatively, you can merge everything into one mesh using merge actors. This will create a single UV layout and one Lightmap for the whole area, instead of having lots of small instances. If you want to learn more about how to use ISM to optimize your project, you can watch a video on my channel. Now let's imagine you have a dynamic door between rooms. This means that after baking, light from one room will leak into the other, because dynamic objects don't block light during calculations. What I do in this case is use a cube. I add it to the scene and place it in the doorway. I disable its visibility, but during light baking calculations, it will still be taken into account, resulting in a good outcome. Sometimes after baking, you might notice strange artifacts on dynamic objects. This is a common issue, and it happens because dynamic objects aren't baked and are partially lit using the volumetric light map. A volumetric light map consists of invisible points placed throughout the scene, which store information about the baked lighting. You can view them here. These points also have their own quality and density settings. To make dynamic objects appear correctly in the scene, you can adjust these parameters. Volumetric light map detail cell size. The smaller this value, the denser the grid and the more accurately lighting is calculated on objects. However, baking takes longer and uses more memory. Volumetric light map maximum brick memory. This is the memory limit for storing lighting data. If you see a lot of artifacts in your scene, you should increase this limit. Another solution is to add a Lightmass Importance Volume to the scene. This tool tells the engine where to focus the most effort when calculating light, and where it's okay to save resources. Inside this volume, lighting is calculated as efficiently as possible, and after baking, you can get excellent results even on dynamic objects, because the points inside this volume store more accurate lighting information. Another indispensable tool is the Lightmass portal. If the importance volume tells the engine where to calculate lighting, the portal helps it understand where the light is coming from. Portals are usually placed in window or door openings. This helps Lightmass calculate rays entering a room more accurately, resulting in cleaner, softer interior lighting. Combine all these methods, and you'll get amazing results without artifacts after baking. That's all for now. I'd appreciate a like, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss more useful videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.